With me.
Yeah. Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Ash coming at you. I've got a treat for you guys. This is going to be an awesome, awesome podcast or a video, if you want to call it, whatever the case may be. Today, we're going to have a guest by the name of David O'Locker. David is one of my mentors, and he's been helping me grow my business to the next level, and it's been going awesome. So, we're going to be talking about manifestation on why it's important to have not only the right mindset, but how to use manifestation to build your business, to build whatever that you're doing, whether you're in sales or whether you're a ditch digger, it doesn't matter. You can get to your dreams, whatever you want to be at. So I'm going to ask a few questions for David here. David has been doing this for well over 10 years now, and he's from rags to riches story. This guy, and he's gone through so much in his life. And today he lives the life where only probably 1% of the world dream to achieve. And he's been there already. He's there now. So I look forward to having him on. So Dave, let's get you on. And I'm going to ask you a few questions. And good to have you here, my friend. What's up?
Thank you. I just want to say I have so much gratitude for you inviting me on your channel and to share manifestation and how to do it. And I have one thing I wanted to say to all of your viewers. It doesn't matter where you are right now or how unsuccessful you may think that you are. I came from the bottom. I was in prison for a long time, and within 3 years, I became ultra successful. And if I can go from that rock bottom to creating the life of my dreams in such a short amount of time, anybody can do it. And you just have to have the right tools and the exercises and even the community, the people around you, to teach you and give you the right stuff in order for you to really get to that next level. But it is super easy once you have the right tools.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah. So let's dive in. And my first question I have for you, Dave, is this: is that what's the most common misconception people have about manifestation, and how does it hinder their success?
Right. And I think the biggest misconception with manifestation is people try to skip the process of developing their attention and their present moment awareness um, before trying to manifest. They skip that whole process and then they fail, and then they want to blame other people and not take responsibility for their own mind not being able to visualize. And I think that a lot of people then throw manifestation out of the window because of that, because they didn't develop their own mind before they even attempted to do it. And also, manifestation is not, it's not a magic trick. It's not when you start visualizing and trying to manifest. I mean, there's not going to be money falling out of the ceiling, hitting you in the face when you're sitting on the couch watching Netflix.
Right.
It's gonna change who you are, and you're gonna be doing different things, and you're gonna take action doing that. And that's another misconception as well.
That's awesome, man. Hey, David, I want to ask you now, in your experience, what's the role of aligned action in manifestation process? So is it purely mental or is it like physical action essentials? Can you expand on that?
Absolutely. Aligned action comes with an impression that you've made into the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is running 95% of everything that you do every day, and it controls all of that. So your aligned action is being taken essentially from you from what you programmed it in the past. So if you can become present and develop your attention and control right now and be like, I'm assuming myself to be someone different. I'm acting as if I'm a millionaire. And as soon as you do that in the present moment, that's actually when you will get those signals of new aligned action. And you'll be like, wait a minute, I got a new idea. I'm going to do this and not that. And all these other things that I'm doing every day doesn't align with that feeling that I just had in the present moment. And that's how you reprogram the subconscious.
Beautiful. Yeah, that's amazing. Now let's go and I have another question here. How do you like personally deal with the limited beliefs or resistance that arise, when manifesting a specific goal, let's say? Like what practical like techniques or, things you could do? What do you recommend for that?
Limiting beliefs that people have and they're trying to overcome those is essentially what I teach people, especially on Tweos, my school community. This world is a simulation. I teach people to start like climbing the ladder in their imagination. Start with small stuff and start developing that. The limiting beliefs usually come from not practicing it enough and not seeing the results of something. And then you start breaking free from those limiting beliefs when you start actually visualizing something and then it happens the next day. And then all of those limiting beliefs start to disappear. Everything you were trained to believe in the past is gone.
Mhm.
Because if you were to visualize yourself climbing a ladder tonight or counting $100 bills very vividly, and then tomorrow all of a sudden you're put in a situation where you got to climb a ladder you haven't climbed one in 10 years, and all of a sudden you have all these $100 bills coming into your life the next day. I mean, there's that
Mhm.
takes away all the limiting beliefs.
Interesting, interesting. What this leads me to the next question I have here says,
Sure.
like, what is the importance of clarity when it comes to manifestation? You talked about the ladder here, for example, but how can we use that example to how detailed should someone be when visualizing their desired outcome? What do you think?
um I think that manifestation can be tricky unless you have a developed attention. And I kind of want to take you back to that because the question is kind of similar to the first question, but the first question we went over. But developing your attention and present moment awareness really gives you that power to be able to visualize and create what you want.
Hmm.
And that kind of encapsulates everything that you need to know about creating an entirely new concept of yourself, changing your belief systems, and creating a whole new reality for yourself. Honestly, that's really what you should be focused on is not just trying to make money really quickly and really easily without first changing yourself. And that's really what we have to focus on. Becoming non-negotiable, creating a identity within yourself that you take care of everything. You wake up early, everything that you do, every promise you make to yourself, you do it, you do it, you do it, you do it every day constantly,
Yeah.
and your life will change and it develops everything up here. You can visualize, and that's the end of it. You got it.
Yeah, interesting. You know what? Let me ask you something, David. Many people like struggle with like doubt during manifestation process. Like things will enter in their mind. What advice would you give someone who is struggling to maintain that faith and or belief in their ability to manifest properly?
Right, and that's kind of similar to limiting beliefs. I think doubt is right in that same caliber or that same subject of the mind. So
Right.
starting smaller. I mean, if there are people that come into the manifestation communities and they want to start within the first month and try to make $1 million and they don't do it, then they give up. They have all this doubt within, manifestation world because they weren't able to do that. That's why I say start with the ladder exercise and then
Hmm.
start with smaller stuff. And then once you start seeing those things materialize in your simulation from you visualizing those specifically, and they start coming into your life, new relationships,
Right.
a new house, apartment, or a car, or $100, or whatever it may be, like smaller stuff. And once you
Yeah.
start seeing all that stuff come into your life, those doubts are gone. The faith is there. It has to be. It has to be.
Interesting.
Right.
This is, I was taught many years ago about gratitude, and I want to touch on that subject. Many people struggle with that. How does gratitude play a role in manifestation? Is it simply, a nice practice, or is it a critical component for attracting abundance? What do you think?
Oh my gosh, it's critical. And even Neville Goddard said this. He said, the simplest and easiest way to manifest or be in your wish fulfilled is just to be grateful. The fastest and most effective way. Because if you had everything that you wanted in your life, how would you feel? Grateful, appreciative, locked into that frequency, that energy. And it's all, you're magnetic at that point. So gratitude, oh my gosh, gratitude is, I would say it's number one. Gratitude. Yeah, overall.
That was hard for me when I first started. I said, why should I say thank you of something I haven't gotten yet? But then when you told me one of your calls on that school channel, hey, you already have it, and it's like if I already have it, it's like I'm saying thank you, and if I already have it, I'm not like greedy anymore. Like I'm not like chasing it. It's chasing me, right? You remember that part when
Yeah.
you told me that?
Yeah. Oh,
And
yeah.
that was huge. Like
Yeah.
gratitude.
And it's kind of like you'll find that you get new ideas when
Hmm.
you're in a state of gratitude. Like if you wake up in the morning, it's Monday morning, and you're
Hmm.
not grateful, you're gonna like get out of bed. You're like, oh my gosh, I got to do this, this, and this. But if you're grateful, you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, I get to do this. I get to do this. I want to do more. I want to be more creative. I want to help
Yeah.
people. I want to do this. It's not about me, it's about them. And I just love
Yeah.
life. You're gonna do
And
10
I
times, 10 times more. You're aligned.
and I want to share something about that. I
Sure.
teach sales training, and one of the things I teach salespeople is every time you meet with somebody, you say thank you, even if they didn't buy your product or service. And they looked at me and goes, well, why should I give them like thank you so much? Even if I say, well, it is a numbers game. So I did a reverse engineering talk the other day about this, and I put it on my YouTube channel also. I said, just imagine, if you made $1,000 on one sale, for example, one transaction, okay, but it took you 10 people to get to before that happened. So every time you met with somebody who said, no, thank you, I don't need it, you still say thank you for the $100. They'll look at you and they go, what do you mean $100? I didn't give you $100. I says, well, you don't know the numbers. Every 10 people I talk to, they end up buying this product. I can't help it. So that means that every 10 people I talk to, it adds up to $1,000. If I divide that by 10, that's $100. So you just gave me $100. Thank you. And they look at you like, wow, what an
This guy,
attitude. And I
this
think
guy
being
crazy.
thankful that
Yeah.
that's that you
Love this guy. I want to buy
every
from him now. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So very interesting. Here's another question I have for you is what is the difference between manifestation from ego versus manifestation from a place of abundance, desire?
Wow, that's a really good question. Um, Ego is more or less a selfish intention, not all the time, but if you're just manifesting from an egotistical standpoint or state of consciousness, it's going to be more about you, and you're not going to really fulfill your feeling states and feel complete. You may still get those things,
Yeah.
but you also push too much with ego and you're waiting for it and all these different things because the ego can't live in the present moment. It has to be in the future or the past. So, but a genuine, authentic desire based on the present moment from your God source, like from the fourth dimension, like your true self,
Mhm.
you're gonna be manifesting not for yourself. You're gonna be manifesting for everybody else. You're going to be like, it's not about me, it's about them. How can I provide service? How can I help? How can I do this? How can I do that? And it's not from that limited source, the ego. The ego keeps you limited. And I believe that that is the biggest difference from being selfish and unselfish. And I think being unselfish, you're going to create so much more. Not thinking about you, but how many problems and how many solutions you can find for the greatest number of people. And I
Mhm.
believe that that is probably the main difference between the two. And but ego is all. But you, if you can control your ego, you can use it for motivation. You just have to control the ego, and that comes from the mind too, your attention.
Yeah, interesting. You know what? In terms of when, like, I want to spin off of that a little bit here about the ego. And some people think that, you know what, when I become successful, then I'll be happy. And one of the things that I know Neville Goddard said in his book is that the wish fulfilled. And I kind of spun off of that and teaching my people saying, it's not so much the wish. People think that I don't want to wish for something because wishes don't really come true. But I said, why don't we change the wording into saying goal fulfilled? See, if your goal was already fulfilled right now, what would happen? Like, what would the state you'd be in? Can you kind of give me a little bit more on that? Like when instead of like that wish fulfilled, I just worded it differently. Like, how do people actually get that kind of a mindset where they have their wish already fulfilled or their goal already obtained?
Right. And that is something that the world in which we live now is training us not to be able to do these things because of short form content, instant gratification, social media, all the distractions that are in your life. Those are keeping your mind from being able to focus on something for long periods of time. And if you want to act as if you already have something and be like, okay, I want to feel like a millionaire, I want to act as if this has already happened and be congruent and take aligned action, it requires that developed attention and the reverse exercise, the leap, like what I have on Tweos, this world is a simulation on school. We
Yeah.
teach that stuff and it develops the part of the brain. And if you have to eliminate instant gratification, all this stuff, and then start doing the mental exercises, and it becomes so easy to act as if, fall asleep visualizing, creating this identity within yourself, and then pushing that out into the world. And the subconscious mind has no choice but to bring that stuff to you in your life.
Right. And I think a lot of it, as you said, is your physiology and the way you move and the way you act.
Oh
That's
yeah.
people sometimes think that I don't want to do like fake it till you make it. But I think if you can share with me on, it's not really faking, it's like you're changing your version, your best version of you. It's like as if I went in my closet and got my best suit on. I'm still the same person inside, but because I put that suit on and I wear that special hat, I start to act a little bit differently. I mean, is that what you're talking about when you talk about being in your best version of yourself? Can you tell me more about that?
Yes, yeah. Start dressing better. Start becoming this new identity. Identify everything that you're doing within your day that's not aligned with the version of yourself that you want to be. And like write it all down from like when you wake up in the morning, write down everything that you're doing all day long. Everything. Write it down. And at the end of the day, examine all those things and be like, this, like probably 50 things that you're doing
Yeah,
that's not aligned with that millionaire version of yourself and is not congruent with that identity. And you have to remove those things and everything that you can do within your day
yeah,
that is congruent with it. Like what you said, putting the suit on, and sitting straight up, walking with more confidence, all these different things, and eye contact with everybody you meet, everyone, like powerful handshakes, whatever it is that is aligned with that vision that you have for yourself. You have to start doing that, and eliminating all the other things that don't align with that.
right, right. Okay, I'm almost done here. I have a couple of more questions for you,
Sure,
Dave.
of
So, what are some
course.
of the like advanced manifestation techniques that go beyond like the simple visualization we hear about or affirmations? What would you say to that?
I would say visualization is probably the most powerful technique, but the problem is people have not developed their minds and their attention to be able to use it properly.
Mhm.
Because you should be able to visualize so vividly, more vivid than our conversation right now and everybody watching. You
Wow.
should be able to visualize in your imagination more clear, more vivid than your reality right now. And when you come out to your reality, you're like, oh my gosh, my imagination is more powerful than this. But what people are missing are the exercises and the tools that develop this within the mind. And that is like the exercise, like the tools, about them, like on Tweos that we do.
Exactly. Yeah. It's amazing how things change. And, to summarize what we've been talking about here is that manifestation is something that everybody can do. It's not like limited to the few. It's not like the 1% of the world. And I just wanted to summarize on that is that one of the things that people ask me about is what's my timeline? Like, how soon will I be rich? And they ask like questions like that. So what would you say to that is what is a timeline for manifestation? Is there a way to speed up the process, for example, or is it more important to surrender to the timing of the universe? Like, can you tell me more about that?
Such a good question. And that comes up so often. And what you'll find when you're trying to manifest $1 million or the life of your dreams, and right now you might be at 10,000 or $100,000 in debt, and you're like, when is this going to happen? That is kind of showing you something within yourself that you're not ready for that world yet. And what it will do is bring new things into your reality that you have to go through and deal with and build yourself up in order to be that individual. And if you're wondering how and when it's going to happen, it means that you're not ready for it yet. And that's really, you're not connected with that identity of yourself. And
Mhm.
when you become that identity, you'll understand what I'm saying, because that identity that you will become when you are ultra successful would never wonder when it's going to happen. They don't care about that. They're going to work hard. They're not manifesting selfishly. They're trying to push out as much value and servitude as they can to the greatest number of people. And when it comes, it comes. And they already live with that as if it already happened. But it's about developing the tools. And it depends how far you're trying to take it. I mean, that could be like, there's so many variables with the question how long things can happen. But if you're wondering how long, you just haven't developed the mind properly. You're not enjoying the process, and you're not living in the fourth dimension from your three-dimensional being. In your God state, because creation is finished. You already have everything, and gratitude is encapsulated with that as well. When you start feeling this way, I am it. I am that individual already. I'm not waiting. Why would I wait for something when I already have it?
Yeah, yeah. Can I give you a scenario? And I think you taught this to me
Yeah.
there. Is imagine if you ordered something from Amazon or anything online. Once you hit that buy button, you know it's on its way. You're not
You
gonna like keep checking. It already told you it's going to be there by tomorrow, right? Whatever. You're not going to keep checking. Is it coming? Is it coming? You're just like sitting back. You know it's going to arrive. It's going to happen, right? It's a done deal.
perfect.
Then you go about your day and you keep, focusing on being like having the right mindset and all that. I wanted to kind of conclude this call on
Sure.
one little practical technique that I've developed, and I think you're going to benefit from this. And I use this in my strategy sessions with my clients and how I get them to think about and change their beliefs. So I'm going to give you a practical idea. Okay. So for those of you watching, and Dave, you can do this too. It's a little fun thing you're going to find. If you hold your hand in front of you like this, just hold it horizontally like this. Okay. And I want you to just move it back as far as you can without moving your feet. Okay. Don't break your back. Just go far as you can without moving your feet. Okay. Now bring it back, put it down. Now close your eyes. And I want you to think in your mind, it's happening here. Don't move your body now, okay? It's happening in your mind. Close your eyes and focus on that hand that you're going to move out and move it back further, 50% further.
Mm.
Feel it in your mind. Don't move your body. Just feel it in your mind. It's happening right now. It's actually happening. You're moving your hand further back. It's going 50% further. Okay, open your eyes. Now I want you to move your hand
Mm.
back out there again and do this and do exactly what you just imagined. Move it back far as you can in your
So
mind.
good. I like that.
Now, for those of you listening here, how many of you went back further? Maybe not 50% further, but you went back further.
Yep.
What
I did.
happened is your mind kicked in, your subconscious
Mm.
took over the muscles and says, no, this person is better than what he was last time. And therefore, it happened in reality. So, with that said,
I actually
manifestation
felt
works.
the muscles start to relax too a little bit
Yeah.
more when after I visualized it in my
Yeah.
mind, and then I was able to go like everything was much easier because I work out a lot and I can't even scratch my back really.
Well, there you go. You just got
There's too
some.
many muscles. But
Yeah.
I was just able to do that. I should practice that more. But that was a really good example
I mean, it's
of
it's more practical.
visualization.
Sometimes people don't get it when I talk, but when they see it, that hey, it's happening with my muscles, happening with my body. Imagine what they could do with their goals that they want to achieve, right? So
Right.
it really moves people to believing that hey, this visualized thing, manifestation really does work. And I have a saying that the word manifestation, in my opinion, it comes from the word manufacture. Like
Mm.
this bottle was been manufactured by somebody. Before they manufactured it, they thought about the bottle, they thought about the size, they put it in writing, they wrote it down and how to make it and everything. And then so the word manufacture, when you manufacture your life better, you can manifest better. Okay. So with that said, I wanted to wrap up the call and I want to say thank you so much, Dave, for being here and helping my audience. So where do they go to get more of your information? Can you share that with us?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to share too, because I believe that, I mean, most of the questions, if not all of them, are all encapsulated or associated with developing. Like, if you want to manifest at the highest level and you're at a point where you've tried manifestation, you've manifested a few little things here and there, you have doubts, limiting beliefs, whatever it is, you can't focus your mind, you can't see something in your imagination and create it. It's because you haven't developed your present moment awareness and develop your attention in your mind. And the world is built that way now, where they're trying to keep you from being able to do this. But if you have the right exercises in front of you, where it's very simple, changing your perceptions, doing these exercises, daily exercises, in a short amount of time, you will find that you'll be able to manifest 10 to 20 times more than you've ever done before, simply by not just trying to manifest, but developing the skill in your mind to manifest. Because you can't put the cart before the horse. You have to develop this muscle of your mind. And a lot of the teachers and coaches and gurus, they're not going to tell you this. They don't want you to know this. I'm going to tell you this. You have to develop your mind. I learned this myself, and I developed exercises that get you to the highest level as fast as possible. And that's where that leads me to my next point. Is probably a link in the description to my school community, which is Tweos. And this world is a
Yes.
simulation. We have over 1,000. We have the biggest manifestation community on school right now. And we flew out to see Alex Harmozy in Vegas to his mansion and everything because we won. And the reason for that is because we're the best. And our tools and exercises are literally top notch, and they're not that easy. But if you devote yourself to doing these and you develop your mind, you will surpass so many other people that are going up to these other exercises that don't work. Don't skip this part. You have to develop your mind properly, and that's where we teach you within my community.
That's awesome. That's awesome, man. So what's your YouTube channel again?
It's Elmer O'Locker Jr.
Okay, good. And what was the school name again? So just want to make sure everybody got it.
It's This World is a Simulation.
This world is so cool. Cool. Okay, good. Well, Dave, our time's coming up. Thanks for being here. I'm sure our audience got a lot of value out of this. If you did, give me a thumbs up and like and share this video. I know you're going to get a lot of it. So this is Ash saying peace out. We'll talk to you on the next call. Thank you, Dave.
Love you,
Have a
love you
great day.
guys. I'll see you inside the community, guys.